Welcome to the Gatemen postgame show. Sam Corman, Jacob Tobey, and Connor Federico right here after a big Gatemen win over the Bourne Braves. 13-2, they sweep a home-and-home against the Bravos this season, as you like to call them. And they improved 10-11 on the season. The pitching, we'll start off with that. The hitting and the pitching both came to play today. We'll start off with the pitching. It was Miller Hogan with the start. What did you like out of him?
Well, I mean, this game was almost exactly like the game against Katuitt just last week, where Miller Hogan started the game. The Gatemen ended up winning that one 11-0. Miller Hogan in that one, 5 scoreless, 1 hit. Today, 5 scoreless, 2 hits. Miller Hogan's been fantastic for the Gatemen guys since arriving here in Wareham. Man, that curveball, it's just so devastating. Coach Sneddon saying before the game that he wanted to see him locate that off-speed pitch, and he certainly did that tonight, and that's why the Gatemen won big.
Yeah, and the bullpen as well, but Miller Hogan obviously stole the show. Tanner Dodson and then Dalton Roach coming in to make his debut. What did you like out of those two guys?
Yeah, one thing on Miller Hogan real quick. He had 5 strikeouts through 5 innings his last start. Had 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings in this game as well, so he was just on fire. But yeah, Tanner Dodson, we saw him struggle a little bit maybe for the first time this season, more than he has early on in this season. Had 2 earned runs. We talked about it during the broadcast, Sam. Working on his off-speed stuff is a big thing for him. We know he can throw 95. Don Sneddon has continuously said that that's his best pitch, his go-to pitch is his fastball. That's all he's throwing right now. He's trying to work on his breaking ball and his off-speed stuff. So there's some growing pains there, but it was really nice for him to work with. He came in with the 7-run lead. We talked about it. How that affects you as a pitcher. Well, he's working on his stuff. Yeah, he let up 2 runs, but at the same time, he's working. He's experiencing the Cape League and they're successful batters. So he did well for coming in with a big lead.
And also gets an RBI. Once again, moves from the DH position to the pitching position and stays in the lineup. Pretty cool stuff. We will send it to Claudia Chakamian, who interviewed our wonderful starting pitcher Miller Hogan after the game. Claudia.
Thanks, guys. I'm Claudia Chakamian with the Gatemen player of the game, Miller Hogan. Miller had another outstanding performance, 5 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts, almost the same exact line as the last time you went out. So what's clicking for you?
Just kind of the same thing I did last time. Just try to establish that sinker, get a lot of ground balls, and just consistency. So it's good things tonight.
12 runs from the offense tonight. So how great was it knowing that you're getting that offensive support from your team?
Yeah, it makes my life a lot easier as a pitcher. When you got a big lead like that, you can just attack people, go right after them. You don't have to worry about 1 run here or anything like that. You just attack the hitters. It lets you get ahead of counts, and it lets you play around a little bit more when you're behind, and that's what I did tonight, and it worked out.
What do you want to work with Lawler with over in your next few starts after having a strong start to the season?
Probably just maybe had a couple 3-ball counts. Work on getting in the zone a little quicker, staying ahead of guys instead of the 2-0 counts and stuff like that. But hopefully just maintain what's going on.
And how much does it help this team's confidence getting both these wins against Bourne last night and tonight moving forward?
It's huge. We scuffled a little bit at the beginning, but we're really rolling now. And I think somebody said Bourne was in first place, so hopefully we're gaining a little ground on them and hitting stride at a good part of the season.
Great, thanks, Miller.
Thank you, Claudia. The Gatemen pitching wasn't the only impressive aspect of the 13-2 victory. 13 runs says it all. The offense coming from top of the order, bottom of the order, middle of the order, wherever you want. And we'll start off with John Topa, who had 4 hits today.
4 hits, 4 RBIs, all 4 of them singles. Who cares? Doesn't matter. They're hits and they count towards the offense. 13 total runs. We've seen time and time again, this Gatemen team, they like to stack up their runs in bunches here in games. Again, the 11-run game versus Katuitt. We saw 10 runs versus Hyannis a couple weeks ago. Third time this season that the Gatemen have scored over 10 runs this season. So they've had success when they can get the leadoff hitters on base. We saw John Topa just continuously doing what he does best, and that's getting on base. Doesn't make it difficult for himself. He just does what he does for this Gatemen team, and he's so good out of Connecticut. Had a great season there, and he was a big part of this offense. And I do want to say one thing about Blake Sable catching today. I thought he was fantastic in his first start at catcher today. Obviously, he caught back at USC, but his first time this season was really good, was communicating well with Miller Hogan, and he worked with Tanner Dotson through that tough stretch. So I liked what I saw out of the catcher today, Blake Sable.
Yeah, and John Topa gets the better of his UConn teammates, PJ Poulin and Ronnie Rosamondo as well out of UConn. Got hits off of both of them today, so pretty impressive stuff. Showing off to those teammates of his at the University of Connecticut. Stephen Kwan got here a few days ago, and since he got here, he has just been unbelievable.
Well, he was only playing in his 4th game tonight for the Gatemen, and he put 3 hits together at the top of the order, a run, an RBI. Really can do it all for this Gatemen team. I really like the performance the entire Gatemen lineup put tonight. Just like you said, Sam, 1 through 9, 13 runs, the most that the Gatemen have put on the scoreboard this season. We've seen a couple 11-run outings, 1 10-run outing, and 1 9-run outing. Now they really put a hurting on their Western Division rival, the Bourne Braves. I was really impressed with Stephen Kwan, and you stole the words out of my mouth, Blake Sable especially. And don't forget John Topa's great sliding catch over in left field in foul territory that got Miller Hogan out of a jam in the 5th inning. Really impressive effort by all the Gatemen tonight.
And I want to say one more thing about the lineup. You're starting to see a form. You're starting to see Quan at the top. I like Jaron Duran down at that 7 or 8 spot. He was at the 8 spot tonight. He's been really well. You saw Topa.
Yeah, how about John Topa in the 7 hole?
Exactly.
He's loving it down there, apparently.
He's found his home there. I mean, he's been batting there most of the season down at that 7 hole.
Willie McIver, 2 more RBIs today. He now leads the team with 12. He's been hitting in the cleanup spot all year, and he likes it there, apparently.
Yeah, he's really comfortable there. Yeah. So I think it's all taking form. We'll see. The one thing I want to see is Tristan Pompey. How's he going to rebound after this tough stretch right now? He's been striking out a lot, had 3 strikeouts in the last game yesterday versus Bourne. Where does he fit in this lineup? We saw him go down to 6 yesterday. I'm interested to see what Don Sneddon will do with him and how he can form this lineup even more.
Absolutely. Speaking of Don Sneddon, Claudia Chakamian caught up with him after the game.
Thanks, guys. I'm Claudia Chakamian with the Gatemen. Head coach Don Sneddon. Coach, when I talked to you the past few days, you said you wanted to see that consistency from your lineup and seeing those runs not only during 1 inning but throughout the game. You got that tonight, so are you pleased with what you saw at the plate tonight?
No doubt, no doubt. The pitching set the tone, keeping them in bay, but, I mean, our hitters came through tonight and just did a great job. We still could maybe got a couple more if we would have had that, but, overall, we did a good job.
How much does Miller Hogan continue to impress you? He had almost the same exact line tonight as he did in his last start. So what's really clicking for him?
Well, his ability to get any pitch over at any time in any situation. The hitters just cannot sit dead red on him. So he can make that happen. It's really good.
How much does it help this team's confidence? We've said it's not about winning. You've said that to me before. But does this help the team feel better about themselves and how they're improving, getting a win like tonight and last night against a good Bourne opponent?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's how you finish. It's not really how you start. We started off and we dug ourselves in some holes. We're just battling, trying to get back to 500 and try to get up in there so we're in that playoff contention. So we got to play some good baseball to make that happen.
Great. Thanks, Coach. Okay. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Claudia. An off day tomorrow, according to our poll on Twitter today, the most popular activity for tomorrow is to go to the beach. But for me, I think the barbecue, finished last.
Are you having us over for a barbecue? Is that the segue?
My vote was for mini golf.
You know what? You and your Syracuse people go mini golf.
I knew you were a mini golf person when I saw the poll. I was like, Connor Federico, big on mini golf.
Beach all the way. Beach all the way.
Other than that, the Gatemen back in action at home here at Spillane Field on Friday against the Brewster Whitecaps. First time they come here to Spillane. The Gatemen lost to them once earlier this season by a score of 9-2 out in Brewster. Thank you for watching this edition of the Gatemen Postgame Show. For Jacob Tobey, Connor Federico, I'm Sam Corman. Good night.